When I immigrated 20 years ago, I started in the home service trade. My first job was in painting. I opened my company. It was doing technical work. We were lean. It was from my garage. Didn't have much of an overhead. We were profitable right away. Crisis times is the best time to start business. People can use it virtually. Through Zoom, we can help you solve your problem on appliances, air conditioning, or plumbing without even sending a technician to your house.
Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about home services, growing a company, especially growing a company as an immigrant in the United States, merger and acquisitions, mindset, and all things that come into building a great company and a good life. Sardor, why don't you introduce yourself and the company you represent?
Thanks for having me here. My name is Sardor Umrdinov, and I'm a founder and CEO of Home Alliance and group of companies. We are tech-enabled home service platform, which is horizontal and vertically integrated in home services, appliance repair, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, handyman, home cleaning, and more. We are opening other verticals as well. And we are vertically integrated like a marketing agency, call center, recruiting, IT platform and membership, and business academy now.
So essentially everything that every household needs every single week, there's something that always goes wrong. They can reach out to you or find your company, Home Alliances, and they will find help. How did it all start? Where did the idea come to start that company in that industry for you?
Actually, when I immigrated 20 years ago, I started in the home service trade. My first job was in painting. Then I found an electrician job, then the plumbing, then the services in the washing machine. Kind of saw the disconnect between the technician, homeowner, and the company. And I saw that it could kind of probably be a better way. And I kind of took a leap of faith and start from appliance repair company first, then actually open up the HVAC and kind of build up the whole thing as a lead generation platform, then the tech platform.
So you were initially, just so I understand it, were you actually offering the services as well and doing your own lead gen, or were you just finding the leads and finding technicians, connecting the
First,
technicians?
I was a technician myself. So I was
Mm.
in the field in 2008, 2011, fixing washing machines. And before I was working elsewhere in the construction in industry, in electrician and painting, right? Then when I opened my company, I was doing a technical work. I was a technician and fixing the washing machines before it became a platform. Then we were adding another service vertical, another one, then eventually kind of grow to the marketing platform, lead generation, and we start doing profit sharing. Then it became a kind of a tech play.
Interesting. So 2008, 2009, that I can imagine that was an interesting time to be in the United States. I hear all the stories, and it sounds like you actually came around the same time as my brother, who came back. He left Poland, went to Germany, and then to the United States. Also, similar story of getting to trade because that's what you know how to do when you're coming from somewhere in Eastern Europe, right? And it sounds like the reason why I bring it up is that mindset element here. He saw an opportunity everywhere, especially if you're coming from a different country. Whereas everyone here was panicking, everyone was depressed, sad, and they didn't know what to do. They felt like the world is collapsing. And whenever I talked to my brother about that time, that's when he started building his foundation back then, and he saw it as an exciting time for you. How was your experience during that time,
Yeah,
especially?
it's similar. I guess when you don't have anything in the crisis time, you have nothing to lose. And actually, I started in the probably bottom of that real estate collapse in 2008. And we were growing because we were growing from zero anyway. So we were lean, we didn't have the overhead. It was from my garage and didn't have much of an office overhead stuff. So we were profitable right away, right? So I think the crisis times is the best time to start business. And every single crisis gives an opportunity, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. And there's things that are on sale during the crisis because people start losing some or not losing, but getting rid of their assets because they panic. And there's this Warren Buffett, I believe, quote that he said something along the lines: "Be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy." And that usually happens during the crisis. You can, if you're willing to put in the work hard, and have head over your shoulders, you can build something during this time.
definitely. The crisis time, you have to just turn on your anti-crisis mode and you have to just become lean and offload and get rid of the fat, I would call it, right? So just become lean and you're healthy again, and then you start growing.
Okay. What was when you first started the company and it started growing? What was that surprised you in a positive and in a negative way? in the beginning?
The positive way is just opportunity, I guess, right? Like in the beginning, when I started the company, my main goal was kind of become number one in LA in appliance repair or service industry. That was kind of a main goal at the time. And after you achieve those goals and whatever the obstacles, you can always solve them. And like on every single even problem, I see always an opportunity.
I like that too. Now, I can imagine 2000, let's say even 2010, there was still no much as far as social media marketing goes. How did you market in the beginning? How did you get those leads, and what was the medium back then to essentially grow your company, spread the word about your company? What do you do, and how did it essentially?
It
Yeah.
was intuitive, I guess. I was basically just driving one laundromat for another laundromat, just knocking doors and giving business cards. That was kind of my way of getting business. It was kind of a guerrilla marketing. And then I said, like, first I was just driving from one place to another, just all over the LA, right? And later I said, "Oh, how can I actually solve without going there? Let me actually," when I drove to those places, the owner of the laundromats was not there, and I basically printed a business card and the yellow sticker, and I start gluing it on their lock of the office. And whenever they would come, they try to open up, they have to go through the lock, but the lock is glued with the sticker. The phone number, call me, and some would call and yell and say like, "What have you done? I cannot get it off." And I would apologize, and I would actually come and clean them up and actually give them a free service, free 1 hour service for the inconvenience I have done. And some would say, "You know what, it's a clever idea. I never saw that before." And for that, they would give me a credit, and I would sign up a contract. So that was kind of my way of doing business. And
Wow.
later what I did, and then I started actually going. It was in 2008. Was more of a Yahoo Maps. I went to Yahoo Maps and actually pull out all of the addresses of laundromats. I didn't know about the USA Data USA, those kind of companies. I would basically manually pull the addresses of laundromats and actually would actually write a mail, it was handwritten mail, and I would put on an envelope and I would actually send it out. That was kind of my getting business at that time.
Wow. Funny. I set up my Yahoo email probably the second day I was in the United States, and I had no idea they had Yahoo Maps or something like Yahoo Maps would exist. I
It
never.
was big at that.
That's true. There was some story with Mark Cuban, I believe. He sold his company to Yahoo, and then they start. There was something around it, right?
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, for me it was just first thing, I don't know, like for email, I didn't know they have so many different services. I think down the road they start offering like paid ads and all kinds of things like to their users. If you have a company, you can promote yourself here or services. But I never actually, there's this is already Google was so advanced that I never actually even thought about it.
Then we started utilizing Craigslist. We were like really strong on Craigslist. We would just monopolize the Craigslist with my friend. He was in a moving company with my brother. He was really strong on Craigslist, and we were doing the Craigslist ads. Then I believe later Google Maps came in. No, it was a different. Google Plus was. Then the Yelp was strong at the time before COVID. Then actually the Yelp kind of dropped afterwards. Those kind of was the lead generation tactics. We use it along the way.
And my brother made so much money with Craigslist back then, like in the very beginning here in the desert. So all kinds of jobs, like also painting and some repair jobs and what have you, power washing. So he loved it. And I have friends who are here, they're newer to the United States, and he's also like a handyman. He knows, we call him my MacGyver because he knows how to do things that no one else would come up with these ideas. And someone tried to sell him like lead gen services from, I think it was even from not a local person, somewhere from some different completely place. And I was like, why don't you just go on Craigslist and see what's there? The platform is still live. And funny enough, I think within 24 hours, he had a first painting job just from Craigslist.
Believe it or not, Craigslist still works. And a lot of platforms built out of the Craigslist. Like one of them is Thumbtack. Thumbtack is actually built on the Craigslist itself.
No way. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. Basically, they use a database of Craigslist to build a Thumbtack.
Yeah, it looks so outdated. Those are real people asking for real help or services, and
Yeah.
it's
Whoever
surprising.
has the technology or like bringing some modernized things, you can actually utilize Craigslist so much because it's outdated. Craigslist took over, I believe, Yellow Pages, and later the Yelp took over kind of Craigslist. But and some other platforms came in, right, like a Thumbtack and other ones like that. So, but there are still more opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note that you were stating, I think it's such a brilliant marketing tactic, especially with offering them free service or free, 1 hour service or whatever it is. And that reminded me of the Michelin brothers. Have you heard the story?
Thanks. So tell me about it.
So the Michelin are like the tires, the Michelin tires. Now we have Michelin star and all that. So essentially these guys, they're brothers and they were so smart. This was the time where no one was needing any tires because there's maybe one car every couple hundreds of citizens. So there's no need for it. So what they did, first of all, with bikes, cycling, they start approaching that, revolutionizing the way that you build those tires essentially. So it's better for the cyclist, and they start promoting themselves there. But then they start seeing the spike in the car industry, its infancy back then. So they wanted to create a new industry, and they start building those guides, 200, 300-page guides where you can go sightseeing, what can you see, and where can you travel next. So that people start looking into, hey, maybe we need a better transportation method because we need to travel 200 kilometers or 100 miles somewhere. So we need a car. When you need a car, well, you need tires. And the tires, back then, that you need to replace them more frequently than now. So they start creating an industry, and that somehow reminded me of those out of the box thinking. Like, what can we do? We have the product that no one needs, no one wants right now. In your case, it's different, but still, back then, they saw the opportunity that hey, maybe in 20, 30 years, people will need it more than ever, and everyone every household will need four tires or a set of tires, and they went above and beyond, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
you're
it's a really good growth hacking tactics. I believe that Google uses the same thing. The Gmail is actually growth hacking. People basically sign up getting a free email, so they can be on the search. They can actually use the platform and the ecosystem itself.
That's true. And now you have all the ads and all. I mean, they're what 90% profit margins at hundreds of billions of dollars a month.
We have for that now, we have a virtual technician. We give that as a kind of growth hacking. So you can actually get a virtual technician over the phone and we can solve 80% of your problems. So that's kind of a top of the funnel for us. People can use it virtually. Through Zoom, we can help you to solve your any problem on appliances, air conditioning, or plumbing, without even sending a technician to your house.
Can you elaborate? So how does it work? It's like an actual person, or it's like a
Yeah,
VA?
actual person. We have a basically home alliance. We call it hotline virtual technician. And when you basically schedule a call, you don't even have to pay service call. The technician will help you over the Zoom to solve whatever the problem you might have in the house, and also can actually be your guide and your advisor if you are calling a local technician to make sure he's doing a proper job and he has insurance and the licenses and he's giving you right quote and right diagnostic. So you can actually use that service anywhere in the world.
I love it. I need to get my mom into your ecosystem then, because she finds every single day. And as soon as she wakes up, she finds something to fix around the house, and yeah, that would be someone she would love to talk to a lot.
Yeah, we want to add some other products like support on your iPhone or your computer, like more of a tech support as well. Even on Tesla, like we want to add probably even the Tesla support because Tesla doesn't have a support system. They only support you can have as a chat, yes. So probably just we have to just add a Home Alliance Tesla support. Well, anything you might think of in your house or surrounding your house, you want to support.
That's a surprise to me because I know that they have access to every pretty much car. I know I have friends who bought actually from LA, who bought one of the first Teslas when Elon was handing you the keys and they will walk you through SpaceX and facility and everything. And he told me like when they had birthdays or something, like someone would leave like a message, someone from the team that they know would leave a message when they enter the car. So they have access to the car. And I would think that with a click of a button, you should be able to talk to support and
They
fix.
don't have a support. The only thing you get, they automate everything is a chat support. They don't have a real life support. Like sometimes my Tesla freezes, and all you have to do is you have to press two buttons on the wheel and then press the brake, and it resets itself. I didn't know that. It took me like I'm geeky enough, but it took me like a while to figure that out, and it was frustrating. So they don't have a really support system.
Yeah,
But Just
It's great.
imagine if someone is older and they're not really technology geeky. It's really hard for them on iPhone or the Mac, or anything in technology, or maybe smart home. So we want to actually bring that. We are bringing that kind of support for the entire house.
Oh wow, that's smart. I mean, that's I love that approach because that's essentially makes you one time shop for everything that they need, and everyone, like I said, needs some sort of services. And now last point on Tesla. When I rented first time Tesla, we're traveling somewhere and I wanted to rent the Model X. It took me like 5 minutes to turn that thing on. I didn't know you don't have to turn it on. You just start and you go. And I was looking for the keys. I had no idea how to navigate that thing. Took me a while, and it's a big car relatively, and was in the middle of New York, so I had to figure out to navigate through New York in a car that I don't know how to use, and it accelerates with like a spaceship. It was like 3 seconds or something to 60. Incredible car, fun experience. But again, I can imagine how someone who is new to that world as well would have to figure out things like that when the car stops and you don't know what to do. How do you find out? There's no manuals, nothing. How do you find out where to click and what to do? So that's smart. Now, I am really curious about one fact. You have so many different services, so many different things that someone might need help with. How do you advertise that? I know you've mentioned top of the funnel that assistant, but you're essentially want to be the best solution, and it looks like you are the best solution for homeowners nationwide, operating in 50 states. I think 200,000 plus household each year at the statistics that I read somewhere. How do you how do you market that? Do you just rely on word of mouth? Do you have some other strategies? How do you go about that?
But basically, look, the home services is divided like almost three sub sectors. One of them is recurring services like home cleaning, car wash, pool cleaning, landscaping, like gardening, right? Those things are kind of recurring services which might occur on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly level. Then you have a second subsector, it's emergency services. It might be appliance repair, it might be locksmith, it might be garage door, it might be plumbing, emergency plumbing, or electrical work, those kind of emergency work. That's where we actually started in the beginning. Then the third one is a kind of a high ticket items. They are in home improvement sector, which is might occur every 5-10 years. It's kind of a air conditioning replacement or big sewer job. It's a roofing, windows and doors, the flooring, maybe big painting job, exterior painting. Those kind of solar, those kind of like huge projects, right? So to get into the door through the big project, it's really hard because customer acquisition cost is really expensive on those. Like maybe to get into the door for air conditioning sales or roofing, so it might be like $500 customer acquisition cost, from $250 to $500 to get into the door to get an opportunity. Then, of course, you have to take a chance you're selling it or not. On emergency services, like an appliance repair might be lower, like a $50 per customer acquisition cost. On electrical or plumbing, it can be about $100, $200. Locksmith or garage door can be anywhere from $50 to $100 approximately. When it comes to recurring services, that's kind of a lower acquisition cost, and then you have actually compounding effect. So what we do is whenever we go to in the beginning, of course, we started from emergency. That was kind of intuitive because you get in, you make your money right away, and you split with your contractor, with your partners, do the revenue share. But later on, we understood like we cannot continue like that. We have to kind of bring in recruiting services. That's what we are bringing, like home cleaning and other like membership kind of products. So whenever we start any city, we get into the door from low customer acquisition cost verticals, sign up our recurring services or membership, then basically support the customer, and so they stay with us until they have like a big projects. And those big projects we can actually make money. But in the beginning, we don't really have to make money. So that's how we actually get into the door. Otherwise, just to start the city or start the business in a new city, it would be impossible to do with home improvement jobs because customer acquisition cost is too expensive. So
So
we basically bring a small ones first, then we start adding other verticals.
got it. So essentially, you get people into your ecosystem. How do you find? You've mentioned recruiting. How do you find actually good contractors and make sure that they're doing a good job and follow up on that job and make sure the homeowner's happy and that the thing was actually fixed? I hear it all the time. Someone was traveling and something broke at the house. I was just 2 days ago at a friend's house here in Rancho Mirage, and I saw that the sprinkler was going all around his house and his neighbor's house. The gardener claims that he fixed it already, but apparently it's not fixed. How do you make sure that you have good contractors?
We basically have a recruiting, like we have a hiring group, or basically recruiting kind of agency internally, which serves internal customers as well and internal businesses. And we have a really detailed and multi-level recruiting process. Number one, it starts from background check, and believe it or not, 50% of the contractors kind of falls off on that background check. They don't even pass the background check. And it was a funny story I will tell you. Then the next step is after they pass the background checks, then they actually go to the first initial interview. And if they pass that interview, they will get interviewed to the business unit manager. And after that, they actually go, we send it with another contractor to get their the knowledge test in that field, how they look like. We kind of use a lift model when we ask the other contractors to kind of vet them. And we kind of test them in the test, 10 test jobs. If they pass that, then they go to the 90 days. And if they pass the 90 days, then kind of becomes kind of a full-time technician.
So
And
it's a
one time, it is a process. It is a process, yes. One time, one of the other company owners, like I cannot call this friend, like someone I know, texts me, says like, Sardor, I have a really good technician in New York. Can you take him? She's like, okay, send me the number. I get the number, and instead of just forwarding it over to the business unit, actually, I am sending it to the one of the managers, and he forwards to recruiting to the beginning of the funnel, and he puts it in the process. So we have all of the process works. We don't really put somebody from the back door, right? And we put it on the front. The person doesn't pass, and it got stuck on the recruiting on the first step, and it didn't pass the background check. And she's like, didn't pass. Like, I didn't even know that. And the guy calls me, says like, hey, Sardar, what's going on? Your recruiting process maybe you need to pay attention. For some reason, they didn't let him go. And he doesn't have a big deal. He just had his background is okay, but he just had a medical fraud for $50 million. You are sending me that kind of a guy, and you're telling me, can you help him out? Like, of course, it's not gonna pass. Like, we don't want those guys.
only in America you hear stories like this where you have wow, yeah.
Yeah, he had a medical like federal medical fraud for just for $50 million. Not a big deal. It's okay.
I'm curious to hear what happened there for that amount of a bill. But in America, like I said, it's not like a huge surprise that the medical bills here are outrageous for anything compared to
Yeah,
other countries.
we are really strict on background checks, and not just. Then we have further, of course, we have to make a knowledge test. We have to actually see and test them on the job and make sure actually they're giving good customer service. And also, we have even after 90 days, we have a constant check of the NPS score, Net Promoter Score. If the Net Promoter Score drops or the customers are not, we will stop giving them jobs. We stop working.
The approach. Is there a way for the homeowner to also communicate not only with their technician but also with you in case something would some concerns would show up and they want to reach not obviously not you directly but someone on their team as well? Is there how does the communication with the homeowner looks like?
No, definitely, yes. Look, we stand as more of a umbrella or like management system on the top. So you don't communicate with the technician much. You only communicate with the technician during the work process. Like after the technician left, unless you want to talk to the technician, you don't communicate. Like when you call or text or you communicate with us, you reach the office, you reach our support system. You don't reach the technician. We are the one who's responsible for the quality guarantee and delivering of the good technicians. So if something goes wrong, which doesn't happen often, then we will offer you, can we send the same technician? If you're completely against that, then we actually substitute this, you will send some. We are really actually the quality and the support, everything stays on our side. It's like almost like an Uber. We don't like forward. It's not like working with a Thumbtack or TaskRabbit. It's like it's different, like where we actually control the whole customer experience on our end.
Customer experience, especially in home services, is such a key. I mean, I hear every single time or very often that the poor customer experience or essential lack of communication will be the main thing. There's, obviously things happen when there are some technical issues, what have you, but mostly the communication aspect. It's still missing. It's surprised to me that in 2025, where everything needs to be transparent, you can do so much background check on people and companies. You can look up their reputation, and it's difficult to build reputation. It's really easy to lose your reputation because all you need is, one horrible comment and the person that is a bit antsy, and they want to essentially leave a comment across all social media, across everywhere they can, and maybe even BBB and what have you. Communication is such a key. So I'm glad that you're obviously put it as a priority to optimize the communication, make sure the homeowner knows what's going on, and they're not left alone with questions like, hey, did I pay him? Is he going to fix it? Is he going to order the materials he told me about? When is it going to happen? Is he coming when I'm at work? That's usually the best thing, when they don't tell you what time they're going to be there, and they come when you're not there, and they see you next week because they have to reschedule.
Yeah, with us, what you get is one of our, like, something I want to be proud of, and we have. You have a Google guarantee, which gives you $2,000 guarantee, and I believe Yelp has a $2,500 guarantee. This Home Alliance guarantee has in the virtual services we have 1,000, but in the basic service you get $10,000 guarantee. On the higher tiers you get $50,000 guarantee or $100,000 guarantee. On the platinum level of the level of membership, you get unlimited amount of guarantee. So if anything goes wrong and you're not happy with services, we basically give the whole money back.
Wow, that's a proper guarantee there. Are you doing anything? I would be curious. I heard electrician work, but are you doing anything on the solar side as well? There's so many. How do the word I'm missing right now? Orphan solar systems in the United States because of the current state of the market in the solar space. Are you currently looking to do some services there too?
Yeah, solar is a roller coaster. Yes, we are looking at it, and we want to probably be getting to the PPA, power purchase agreement direction. That's what we are kind of exploring to that going direction. So actually, we can merge our membership and PPAs together and give that 25-year guarantee.
Yes, I mean it's quite, and also servicing. I was more looking for servicing, but you took it to the whole different direction. I love it. That's thinking out of the box there, but servicing them. Usually it's a quick fix, and if you're doing Tesla stuff, that could be similar. Usually there's some wiring involved. Unlike in a Tesla, you probably don't look at their wires, but it's a relatively easy fix. And the good thing is that as far as the equipment goes in solar, there is not much that a technician would have to learn. There's maybe 4 or 5 major manufacturers as far as the brain of a solar system is, like the inverter, right? That has a set of codes. It's relatively easy. And they do have customer support that usually, my experience, is pretty good because I come from the solar industry as well. So I can tell that most of the companies have, unless they went bankrupt, filing bankruptcy in solar is very common in 2025. But the PPA is smart. I was just having a chat with a solar company from Ireland, and believe it or not, small country, the market isn't huge, but it's significant. Obviously, they have big goals and they're moving fast as a country as a whole, as far as renewable energy goes. And they keep everything transparent. You see on their website the pricing, and it's probably 40% cheaper than in the United States with pretty good components. I looked into that. So they have solar, energy storage, the whole thing, plus interconnection, faster, 3 times faster than in the United States, 3 times cheaper, 3 to 4 times cheaper in the United States, and very transparent. So I agree with you. The industry is a roller coaster, but there's a lot that could be improved as well.
Yeah, probably first thing we're going to be adding probably solar panel cleaning. It requires, and we can actually just add it to our membership package, because with membership you get a new filter to your air conditioning every 3 months or 6 months, depending on the package. We basically send out our specialist, home care specialist, concierge to your house to basically do 24-point checkup in entire house, of from electrical appliance or HVAC and all that. And we also replace your air conditioning filter. So to that, we can actually just add a home solar panel cleaning as well. So it can be just add-on services.
I love it. Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned membership multiple times, and you know you're a great marketer. Do you know about a guy called Dan Kennedy? So it reminded me of the book, one of his OG books, I believe, Magnetic Marketing. Every business owner should read that book for sure. Whether or not you're good at marketing or you want to be good at marketing, you should read that book. And there's that one story where he shares with a home service type of business. I will remember in a second what kind of service that was. But long story short, he described how they essentially changed their offering, included the membership or start offering the memberships, and a system to also collect reviews on Google. And the book was written in the beginning of Google reviews and Google Maps and all that, right? So I was curious to see. I reread that book every now and then. I reread it this year, and I looked up the company. I was 100% sure I will not find the company. The company probably doesn't even exist, and it's just a gimmick or what have you. Turns out these guys are at, I think 35,000 plus 5-star reviews, 4.8 star reviews. And I was on their website. I had it like a tab open for 2 hours. There was like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 reviews that came in talking about like real reviews. So if you build an engine for it, I think it goes a long way, because you can pretty much fake 35,000.
Yeah, definitely. Recently, I had an experience, and actually, we are bringing the similar kind of an experience. I was getting a car for my wife, and the salesperson in that Cadillac is like, after the service, can you actually give us the company going to be GM is going to be GM own the Cadillac, right? And they're going to be sending you the follow up surveys. Like, can you actually answer that because otherwise they really stand behind our necks. Like, okay, I'll do that. Then he delivers the card, reminds me again. I said, okay, I'll do it. I forgot. Then he basically calls me or texts me in 1 month and it's like, can we jump on a quick call? I said, like, what's going wrong? Maybe something is wrong with me. He says, okay, I'll jump on the call. It's like, is everything is okay with your car? I was like, yes. Is your wife is happy with it? Yes. By the way, can you take care of that survey? Otherwise, they're not letting me. They really stand behind of our backs and just make sure we get the answers on the survey on each time. It's not external review for on the Google or Yelp or somewhere. It's internal quality control is like that by email, right? So please press like 10 or something, like give a good review if you're happy, right? It's a good service. And then actually reaching out to my CEOs, look, I just saw that this experience, we're going to have to actually control. I think our NPS is about 70% now, but we collect that on whoever answers the response on NPS. But some people, if they ignored it, they didn't reply, you don't know the experience. And we are actually implementing a process that we want to make sure we're going to get the reply on every single job we completed or not even completed. I want to get the feedbacks, what went wrong, or like why they're not replying or why they're not giving a survey. So we want to put that kind of a control to control every single job. That kind of it will increase. Like if you fix a product from inside out, not from outside. Like in the past, we built everything on outside. We built on Yelp. Everything was on Yelp, and eventually, like Yelp saw that we are their competition because we are coming up with the home alliance guarantee and we are actually putting up a membership, so we don't have to go back and buy the leads from them. They saw it as a competition. They don't even let us to advertise on the Yelp platform now, right? So, and then we decided, you know what, we don't have to fix the product outside. We want to actually control the quality from inside out. That's why we have more of an inside NPS control on every single job the customer gets. How do you like it? And we control that, but we want to actually put like on every single job.
It's important. It's very important. I have 2 stories on that. First is the Yelp story. I think every business owner has a day where they explode because Yelp is taking down the reviews. I had it in the solar when we were growing the company, and solar, and we're doing so many jobs, and we were going above and beyond, just like the Cadillac rap, to get those reviews, because people usually like to share something negative immediately, like a restaurant, right? You had a bad experience, you go immediately on the Yelp and leave a 1-star review. But the good service, people don't think about it. And if you don't prompt them and if you don't remind them, like the guy with you, then it's hard to leave it, right? So I had even for we had one of our first businesses that we started was a home cleaning service as well, and Airbnb mainly is a cleaning service. And I remember the day when they start taking down our reviews. We were so angry at them, and never ever gonna be advertising with you, and we're gonna take our ad spend there to a different platform. But fortunately for them, Yelp was giving great leads usually. But it's I don't know why they came up with this idea to remove 5-star reviews, and maybe when you lower the ad spend, immediately a review goes out of the door. was
Because I
interesting.
wanted to spend with them all the time. That's all. Yelp ads, like organic reviews works because like you get, but actually Google cut their position. It used to give 3 positions for Yelp on the search. When you search something, like 3 Yelp position would come. Now they have only one, and their traffic is really lower. Now Yelp is advertising on Facebook just to actually to bring more traffic because their advertisers need more traffic and more impressions. But it's users kind of got shrinked after the COVID, right? People stopped going to the restaurants and posting reviews. So it's kind of,
Good, good for them. Facebook takes down their reviews from their platform.
yeah, if you look at the Yelp's review on San Francisco, Yelp location on Google or Yelp, you're going to see like horrible
Yeah,
reviews.
take down their reviews. They deserve it for what they're doing. Yeah, another story I wanted to share with you, and that's quite fascinating to me. So I have some colleagues in the industry that started a company about 2 years ago in a CPG company. So it's a canned drink, and they exiting probably high 9 to 10 figure exit velocity right now. There's a bunch of marketers who have $800 million ad spend under their hood, and they know what they're doing, scaling so fast, extremely fast. I think they're already at like 5 to 6 million months with a product that costs, $5 or whatever. So long story short, the reason why I share this is because recently what they start doing, the founders start doing, and start recording video where they sit down and they call their customers. And mind you, this is not $1,000 product, right? It's a $5 to $10 product if you buy a package. And they call the customers that bought the product most frequently to say thank you, to have a conversation with them. How was their experience? Where did they buy it from? What was it retail? They just entered Sprouts. Was it online? And they do that extra, they go that extra mile to really, first of all, you have amazing content. Second of all, you build relationship even at that level, right? They have thousands of customers, but they still spend a good portion of their time to stay close to their customers. And then you have, home services, especially local home service businesses that have maybe a couple hundred customers a year, homes that they service. And when they try to get a hold of them, right, after hours or even during hours, you don't have a chance to speak with someone, or they don't know who you are and they don't know anything about you, right? It's surprising to me that still in 2025, you don't go above and beyond to get that review, to get that testimonial, whether it's a text, SMS, WhatsApp, or a Google review, or a video testimonial. It's so important for your company to do that. Yes. So I know you're looking and connecting with a lot of people that are, speaking of merger and acquisitions, that are doing that space. Am I hearing here a background story about exit velocity for you, or are you just interested to continue invest and build a holding company? What's the story behind the merger and acquisitions?
We're not looking for exit now. We are actually in the growing and modes, and we want to either acquire, we want to join up with others, or we want to actually grow through M&A. That's where the main focus. Organically, the team in place, the team is doing a great job. We had one of the best months last month in June for last few years. And we are growing, right? Like probably we're growing like 20-30% a month. Team is doing a good job on organic growth. So I have to put my energy and focus somewhere. So that's why I have established like M&A team with 5 people. We are kind of looking and working with the brokers in different verticals. It might be appliance repair, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, handyman, home cleaning, whatever the industries. We want to actually join forces with other business owners who actually have grown and they want to join the group. It can be either virtual merger, they can have the 100%, we're just going to be sharing the upside only, or they can actually partially exit and they can still stay for the second bite, and we can grow. We can bring our operation system to that, to their business, and we can bring their ecosystem, or we can bring our marketing arm, our support arm, our membership, and we can actually bring other. If the company is only selling, let's say, home cleaning, but they don't have appliance repair or plumbing, HVAC, we can actually bring other services to them, and actually we can grow together, right? If a company only doing appliance repair, they don't have a membership, they want to actually add a HVAC, we can actually come and actually help them to add other. So we want to actually grow either way, right? So like either they will want them actually to join the group, and we can actually help them with accelerating. We have, by the way, an ecosystem. We have a business academy where we actually help the technicians who want to start their own business. We help them to establish a company, to get the right insurances, to get even licensed. They don't have if they don't have a license in the contracting world, we can help them to get it. We can help them. We can support them to get those licenses, and actually help them support either growth as well on the future. We can help them with marketing, help them our marketing agency can help them to build a brand book, a website, and with lead generation efforts. So they can actually focus on their job.
Incredible. You touch every faucet here in that in that house.
Yeah, we are basically growing on the customer experience. We are increasing the LTV. We walk in from the home cleaning. We come back as a handyman, changing the filter, doing the 24-point checkup, and fixing their plumbing issue or electrical issue or appliance issue, whatever it might need in the homes. We want to help them in all of those verticals, right? And then about the contractors, whenever they come in, we have a technician academy. They can actually come within a month or three, they can become an appliance repair technician. That course costs $1,500. So for 1,500, they can actually become a technician on appliance repair. We want to actually bring it for plumbing, electrical as well soon. And in 3 months, they can start earning $5,000 to $10,000. And our really top performance, they earn about, like, top guy earns $500,000 a year. Like, he makes a 50,000 a month on fixing appliance repair. So actually, we can teach them how to become really successful technician. And later, if they want to open up their own business, we can actually help them to establish their own corporation, LLC, and helping them with getting a license, insurance, with hiring, with marketing, and we can give them a whole support of bringing organizational structure, job descriptions, accounting support, legal support, whatever they need to actually they can grow their own business. So we are actually looking at that also to increase the customer journey and LTV of the technician, not just like before when they would come as an AC technician. Once they get to the certain size, now they want to open up their own, they would quit and they would compete with us, right? Instead, now we want to actually support them to grow their business. So later we can actually merge together and actually we can exit together. So it's like it makes sense to grow together.
See, I knew the Michelin brothers were your ancestors from the beginning. I mean, who comes with these ideas? I have no idea how do you organize that every aspect of it. I mean, it's covered. You can help in so many different ways, and that's quite incredible. And the way you explain this is also so easy to follow and understand, and makes sense for why you do those moves. And also, I admire how you build team around everything, a board of advisors for everything, for the mergers. The viewers and listeners won't know, but you're the first guest who brought in an assistant. Shout out Anastasia, who is helping us set up the camera and make sure everything is on point. You go that extra mile in every step. And there's that one of the 4 agreements, if you ever read the book, to always do your best, and how you do one thing, you do everything. And that's quite your motto. Sounds like you're approaching everything with precision. You know exactly what you want out of that, and you can also predict things. So forecasting must be your forte as well. You know how to predict certain moves in the market and shifts, and that just makes sense. Great job there. It's makes sense from for sure, and it's incredible. I hope you're writing your book on that, by the way. You-
Yeah. The book is coming. It comes from the mistakes first, like what 100 mistakes not to do when you are a founder, right? So everything is actually learned on the mistakes, right? Yeah. Then probably it's going to be even 1,000 mistakes, but you learn on your mistakes. And actually, as a bootstrap founder, I think I have a lot to share how to actually overcome and how to build. And I'm a builder, right? So I love to build, and I love to help others to build as well. It kind of excites me.
Yeah, I can tell you get a fulfillment out of that too when you have some of your partners, do 500,000 a year, and you help them establish that and build a foundation and start scaling, and you give them all the tools they need so they don't have to do any guesswork. I mean, it's a wild west when you're starting a company, anywhere in the world, and United States is not different, where you don't know what to do. You're being pitched all the time, or not even pitched, but moved into so many different directions. Everyone tells you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, and you're standing there not knowing what to do, and it takes you forever to figure things out, what to do, what not to do. But you're essentially saving so much time, so it's worth every investment for sure. How I'll be curious to hear, how do you approach innovation? 25 AI everywhere. How do you approach artificial intelligence and maybe other forms of innovations as well in your businesses?
I'm always been for innovations. We have even R&D block, research and development block with tech. In our tech team, probably we have about 15 people. And in R&D and implementation and automations. And we are, I think, one of the service companies who have developed their own CRM. We built our CRM in 2016, and that CRM kind of evolved, became more of an enterprise ERP system. It's more to kind of manage our ecosystem. And then kind of we basically build other pieces of it, like when you have a telephony system or the customer experience system, then you have a technician app. All of those things kind of always evolves. We also try to implement like automation and AI. A few years ago, we tried to implement the AI in the call center. We saw that it's too early. We decided just we want to actually put it more of a AI coach to listen every single phone call and actually find out if if we can actually improve and actually like it triggers certain events if the AI detects certain keywords or improvements, and we kind of use it as a coaching mechanism. And one of the things actually we don't have it yet, but there is a platform came in where each salesperson or technician can be on the house, can be with recording. You can actually improve and listen their sales pitch and all that. We don't have that things. I think it's because of privacy in the house. We kind of respect the privacy of our homeowners. We don't really bring that, but there are the companies who actually using that kind of AI solutions. In AI, my take is I don't like to be in the front of AI and use too much of resources on developing and testing, but actually be more of a second in the line. And I would love to. We are always looking and searching how others are implementing and use it. Once we actually find out, identify successful case, then we actually copy that and implement it to ours, right? Like we're always looking, and we don't just do it in the home services. We're actually looking for other verticals where others are using the AI and any technologies, and we bring from other technologies. So innovation doesn't have to happen in your own industry. You can always bring from other industries. That's what we're always looking. And but when it comes to AI, I think the home service industry is secure. I think it's going to be the replaced at the end, like when you actually replace everything else. Like you can replace the bookkeepers, software developers, and call center and everything else, and outbound and support system, but it's going to be really hard to replace the home service trade people. Like plumbers is going to probably last one.
Exactly. Ask a lady in her 50s or late 60s to invite a robot to her house and have it fix something. That's still a few years ahead of us. But I love how you said essentially how success leaves clues. You can implement successful strategies from different industries, bring it to your industry, and then have it implement so you can focus on what do you do best while others are spending their resources on testing and what have you and developing. It's still too early for most of the applications, I agree. But as far as the call recording, I think that's smart. You can turn it into what I like to call objection handling content, where
Yeah.
you find analyze what are the things that you repeatedly hear across the calls, what are the concerns, what's working, what's not working, and then turn it into content essentially.
Yeah, we do that. We use it for the search engine optimization purposes. We basically transcribe all of the recordings and actually create content out of it. What was the question? What was the ask? And what is the solutions? What is the answers for those things? And you deploy it on your website. It works as a magic. It ranks, and people are searching for those things.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's just common sense. If you hear it from five people, it's probably likely that 500 people will say the same thing, or vice versa, especially if it's for something that we all have, like an appliance or a washing machine or what have you. So that just makes sense. But how do you see, or where do you see the importance behind media? I know you have podcasts, not one, you actually have two podcasts, very professional setup. So that goes to say that you pay attention to it and you definitely want to be missing out on that aspect. But where did the idea come to essentially become a media company? Because that's what you are when you're putting out content out there, you're becoming a creator. Where does it tap into your ecosystem or your vision?
The media, I think, is came kind of evolutionary as well. I'm seeing the others and how the media and personal branding is helping to grow. And normally, it's kind of I don't like to be in media. I'm more of a shy and behind the scene guy. But I'm kind of leaving I'm going out of my comfort zone actually to become to actually shoot a video podcast, and it's not easy for me, right? Like to even run my Instagram or YouTube channels and everything else. Like it requires a lot of effort to do that, and that's why I have a support system who helps me to keeps me accountable to get it done. And they have to kind of shoot certain amount of videos and all that because logically I'm understanding it has to be done, right? And especially on the B2B side, like if we want to do more M&A and we want to actually help more business owners, you have to be a media person. On the consumer side, it's plus minus. Not sure if the homeowners, there are companies who is doing it like if you are like a one-man show guy, you probably can shoot your day-to-day activities as a handyman and put it out there. But when you have an ecosystem, I cannot go and actually shoot out as the jobs on the field side, right? It's impossible because I'm not in the field anymore. But I kind of check other things like that's what my day-to-day activities is probably running a company, dealing with management things like on hiring and bringing A players or actually bringing C-suites. It's kind of different things I deal with and. Doing a podcast also, right? So I believe it's the media and personal branding is really important, and every single company it's going to become a media company. And in the past, if it was just only TV, but now it's Instagram and YouTube is your TV actually. Like, and people want to buy with emotions. People want to actually do business with people who they know, and it's working out. Like sometimes you already get people's like, you know what, you probably don't know me, but I already saw all your videos. I already know you who you are. Like I would love to do business with you, right? That's a kind of a purpose. And then of course you start following them and you just kind of get to know them. They kind of automatic, intuitionally that business comes together.
Absolutely. It's almost like that virtual handshake where by the
Yeah.
time you meet someone, they already know you. So when you meet in person finally, or when you sit down to talk business, there is already some pre-relationship, I guess we can call, right? So something that you didn't even know that existed, but because you're getting out of your comfort zone, you're putting the content out there, and you're talking about something that people can resonate with, especially other founders, executives, and brokers, and whoever is involved in a deal, in a transaction, can already vet you almost like the, I would say maybe the virtual background check. That's a cool term to use here because they already know that, hey, I know what he's talking game here, and he's a legit person, and he's built something great. So I'm glad you're recognize this as well, and you're putting out great content. I look forward to your next episode that we discussed earlier. If you were granted an opportunity, Sardor, to sit down across the table from your younger self, I ask at every guest, what piece of advice would you share with him? How would you set his next decade or two and of entrepreneurship and growth?
I would say work in a smaller company, learn, and try to get into the private equity sooner. Yeah, it can be even home services. Like home service, I think industry is one of the good ones. It's really fragmented industry, and I would probably tell them this is almost the same thing, just faster.
Yeah, move. And I
More
feel your
faster.
feeling.
Yeah, and follow the good leader, right? Follow the good leader, find mentors, and join clubs, join masterminds with like-minded people.
I like it. Speaking of masterminds, I think you probably know her, Cody Sanchez. Maybe you are in her group, but I think she has a group and mastermind that you would definitely benefit from. I hear good things about that mastermind, and a lot of her, as you know, if you follow her content, she talks a lot about those old school businesses, which most of them are, if not all of them, are home services, some sort of home services or local small scale services, like the laundry mats or laundry companies and home services and all kinds of different businesses that anyone could start. And her mastermind is packed with great minded individuals from what I'm hearing. Hopefully I will be able to join at one point if it makes sense. But yeah, that's any mastermind books, mindset coaches that you could mention that helped you perhaps shape who you are right now.
Yeah, depending on your stages, what kind of problem you're solving at that stage, right? Like Jay Abraham is one of my mentors who helped me on the marketing and retention and the membership kind of a thing came in. Roland Fraser, he's one of my coaches and mentors who kind of brought me the idea of M&A and mergers acquisition things, and it was is epic the mastermind and. Uh, I also follow. I was part of more than 11 masterminds. I think like it's Vistage is it's a really good one. Was helping me the YPO, EOS, EO. entrepreneur organization. Board of Advisors, one of them is a really good one. And other ones, right, like Business Booster. So like every single mastermind kind of solves to helps you to get to one point from point A to point B. Then probably once you kind of solve that one, you can kind of move to the point B and point C. And masterminds always helps you to grow and be really like-minded people who actually also growing.
Yeah,
It's different than poker tables. Like poker clubs are kind of more about coming and bluffing and kind of competing and taking from each other and winning. But when it comes to mastermind, it's more about giving back and sharing.
yes, absolutely. I was once invited to the cigar lounge, and even though I don't smoke, maybe I don't smoke yet cigars, to meet our accountant from LA in Beverly Hills. And we entered the room. There was high net worth individuals all around, and I immediately realized why he's there. He put himself. Apparently, it's a long wait list to become a member there. But once you're in, your network immediately is elevated. And I know that he's also part of many masterminds all around the United States. So yeah, it goes definitely. It's a smart way to invest in yourself and your growth. Now, my final question to you: what are you excited the most about the future? Maybe near future? Anything exciting? Any projects that you're looking forward to more than others? What can you share here?
No, I think it's more. I think this the closest future is the business academy we have launched, and I see to helping a lot of business owners and building a huge community and helping them to build and accelerate and grow their businesses. That's what kind of excites me, and actually sharing my knowledge. So instead of letting them go through like 15 years of and figuring it out and finding it out all the knowledge from different places, you can actually have all of the playbook. You can take it and you can do it within a year. And I have helped a lot of business owners to achieve what I have done in 4 or 5 years in 1 year. So they can actually from zero to they can get to 1 million mark in 1 year, right? So that's kind of my kind of mindset and helping them. It kind of excites me. Then helping them to grow further. So building that kind of a group and community where you put together the other similar-minded people who actually want to grow the business. So that's kind of excites me. Then the next is building the platform and building the ecosystem, and let's see what we can build. And I believe we're going to be able to build some unicorn.
I have no doubts here. How can people find out more information about the academy?
The academy is in either through my social medias or Home Alliance. On homealliance.com, you're going to be able to get kind of look at the academy. There we have a technician academy where you want to become self-employed, or the business academy where you want to become a business owner, right? So those ones can be found, and we can put the links
Yes,
on the podcast as well.
we'll do that for sure. I mean, the online education industry is becoming a real thing nowadays. There's so many things that take the alternative route to the typical education. And I heard yesterday a statistic. I haven't confirmed this, so don't quote me there, but 15%, only 15% of high school graduates in Switzerland are actually continuing the traditional way, where it's high school, pick up a university or further education, and then go into trade, start from the very bottom, and spending a lot of money on a university, spend 10 years of your life learning. Finally, then after 5, 6, 7, how many years it takes you, depending on the path, you're going to start at the bottom and putting in your hands on some trade. The 85% are taking an alternative route, which is going to trade, are
Yeah.
doing, learn as you go. And then if you have tools like an academy, educational academy, that you can go, and I can imagine at your own pace, you don't have to pay 100,000 tuition over the 4 or 5 years, unless you can. Then, but hopefully not. Hopefully it's not that much. And in the United States, it's probably more. I don't know the average, but I can imagine UCLA. It's like what, 40,000 a year just to tuition alone. Plus, you have to have all kinds of other things that goes with it. So yeah, it's an interesting. Obviously, I guess you don't organize those.
Well, with
Fraternity.
us, look, with us, you can actually get the knowledge within 3 months. If by going through the course, if within 1 year you don't get your money back, we will give you money back. So, like, if you're not gonna like earn the amount of money you put it with us, if you're not gonna earn it back, we're gonna give you the 100% return. Can the university or college can do that? I don't think so.
Sure. That's one thing people forget. These are for-profit organizations. Like they like making money, and they're making a lot of money. So yeah, no guarantees there. And so I guess if your parents have a good portion of money that's saved over working hard and save so you can go and party, go that route. If you want to actually start making money, learn something, and way faster than you would go with university, look out for online education, and that will speed up. The academy like yours will speed up your path.
Because 1,500, 1,500, and you can earn 100,000 a year within a year. So, like,
Uh,
if you're not gonna get your 1,500 back, we will gonna give you back. So, like, and the same thing for the business school, right? Like business academy, if you spend 5,000 with us and you're not gonna be able to build your business and get your 5,000 back in 1 year, we're gonna give you money back. So can the universities or colleges can offer that kind of offer? No, right? Like that's what some people are saying, they're scams. So
Exactly. In Switzerland is on the front, and I had no idea that 50, only like 85% of people are taking the alternative route. Yeah, Switzerland, you probably can name at least five good companies from Switzerland, and they have their technology there too. So it's
sometimes, like when I came into US 20 years ago, I wish somebody taught me this, right? Like, and I probably have spent more money in my own university when I went. I didn't use it, right? So you better go to 3 months course here, either technician or the business school, and actually start earning money.
Yep, I'm all for it. I 100% all for it. I'll check it out, and we'll leave the link down below. And you mentioned Jay Abraham. I think in the early days they were sending out booklets and CDs with.
Yeah,
I have recording of one of his mastermind, and Eugene Schwartz was then Kennedy, obviously the same circle. There was Jay Abraham as well with his suit and tie and then three-piece suit. I believe he was wearing there, and he was teaching. So it's a good thing to refresh because some of the strategies they taught back then are timeless. They're applied to what we can do today, and that could be a good leverage for you as well. But
that's what we like. One of the things is like, in order for the business to grow, you should always either sell more for the same clients, open more product lines, open more business lines, open more regions, right? That's what we are doing. We're actually horizontally, we are adding more product lines, we are opening more regions, and we are actually like vertically, we are growing and helping the same technicians to actually along the way. So like all of the things what the J. Abraham thought we are applying it.
And that circles back again, circles back like the tire to the Michelin brothers and their way of approaching business, revolutionizing, building an industry almost. And you're kind of like doing that. You have your own, you tap into the industry, but you build your own ecosystem within that industry. So you can essentially, so many people can benefit from it, whether you're on the technician side, whether you're on the homeowner side, and
Yeah.
that creates so many opportunities for many people all around the United States. So Sardar, it was a pleasure. It was such a pleasure to speak with you, an honor to host you. I look forward to the editing already. And yeah, for the viewers, please check out his podcast as well. We'll leave that link down below as well. Great stories that he's sharing and bringing fantastic guests as well. So yeah, thank you so much. Any final words?
Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate having me here on your podcast. Hopefully, the listeners going to be enjoying the things we brought up about the home services and all of the subjects we covered. So hopefully, it's going to be helpful.
Thank you so much.